Welcome in. We are live on this lovely Wednesday afternoon, per usual. I am your host, Joey O'Donoghue, here, host of the Browns Report, and we have lots of Browns quarterback news to get to today. Not just involving Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and now Deshaun Watson. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I know that's going to send some shock waves across the Browns fans, dog pound faithful. We got a lot of quarterback updates to get into today, so you're going to want to stick around. A few segments for you guys, and let's get the latest with your favorite team, the Cleveland Browns. It's Baltimore week, by the way. I want to absolutely crush the Ravens. If you watched my last video, I don't care where we're at in standings and how we could get a better draft pick. I don't care. When we play Baltimore, I want to destroy them. So let's get hyped up for this week to beat those Ratbird Ravens Browns fans. And like I said, plenty of quarterback news coming your way on today's show. Who we got in the chat right now? See Ryan Clark. The Ryan Clark? Probably not. Saying hire John Gruden. I'm going to have to make a video on that because Gruden grew up a Cleveland guy. I think we need a football guy coach. I was talking to Wolf76 in the chat here. Who knows? He says he started drinking heavily because of his team. I feel you. I feel you, man. James, what's going on? He said, hey, Joey, tell me they aren't opening the windows on Watson. OMG, no. We got a Deshaun Watson update coming for you. Browns fans, got pretty bad last time he was out there on the field, but we're going to talk about all of it today. Hey, Bobby Johnson. He said, hey. Shedeur Sanders theories. What is going on? Why is he not the starting quarterback? We got to give you guys the latest on these two because Gabriel's not cutting it right now. So what is actually going on in that front office? I'm going to give you some theories as to why the Browns haven't gone to Shedeur yet. And then we will be having a fan Q&A mailbag. That means you guys can get your questions, your takes heard on today's show. If you super chat, we'll automatically put you up on screen, shout you out, and answer your question. Or you can use the hashtag Browns in that chat, and we'll try to pick some good ones as we go. But before we get into our segments, I want to know just right off the bat. Reed having some fun back there. He's going to pop up on screen. Producer Reed's with us here today. But I do want to know from you guys, off the bat, pick your quarterback for the year. Type 12 if you think Shedeur should take over. Type 8 if you think we should stick with Dillon Gabriel. I hate to even mention this one, but type 4 if you think Deshaun Watson should be the starter once again.
Cool guy, that was funny. He
Yeah.
goes, I'm such a troll for picking him.
Yeah, that was so funny. We got LeBron James saying Watson not coming back. We got an update for you. We'll see. A lot of 12s in the chat. I love it. Love to see it. Bobby Johnson wants Shedeur. Michael wants Shedeur. NBA Edits has Shedeur. Christopher has Shedeur. Michael has Shedeur.
It's time. It's time for Shedeur.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen. James has Deshaun Watson.
Oh, no.
He's spamming 4. Uh-oh. Michael with the 12. LeBron James says 12. Moose the Monk says 12. Disney Freak says 12. Kel Spence. I love it.
My ranking, I guess, would go, I want to see Shedeur. If it had to be.
Yeah.
Go Shedeur, Deshaun, Dillon.
Honestly.
Dillon gives you nothing.
It's honestly where I'm at right now. Honestly. Joshua Miller. Getting things started off in this Wednesday live party. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Keep spamming those names, guys. Here's pick the quarterback for the rest of the year. I'm going to give you some updates on Shedeur and Deshaun Watson on today's show, so stick around for that. Seen a lot of 12s, though, in the chat. I love it. Spiral Black said he liked the video. Appreciate that. Hit that like button while everybody's in here. Got 167 people watching. Hit the like button. Let's boost it up. Let's get this to 67 likes. We could do that. We could do that. Only if Pebble Hunter's here. David with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, David. But first we got Joshua Miller with the 5. So tired of every year talking the next draft. before Thanksgiving because we can't do bleep. Also, still think Coach Steph would rather get fired than start Shedeur Sanders. What a take here from Joshua Miller. I think we're going to have to see this in the mailbag.
Oh, this will definitely be in the mailbag.
This needs to be part of the video because the latter half of this super chat is what it's really starting to look like. I mean, I'm going to talk about this in one of the segments today, but Stefanski seems to be the biggest tie here as to the decision maker, as to the one saying we're sticking with Dillon Gabriel. It might not be Shedeur time until Stefanski's on his way out. We'll see. We got a lot to talk about today. Joshua Miller, thank you so much for that $5 super chat, man, and a great take. I know we got a lot of people in this chat that know ball, and so share your takes and questions on super chats, or you could just do a mic drop like David here with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, David. Really appreciate you. For sure. A lot of funny names in the chat being said right now. Reginald's like, start Brady Quinn. Trade for Baker. Start Brian Hoyer. Start Ken Dorsey. Oh, man, some great names in there. Derek Anderson. Good times.
Joshua, I always spot him when you put him in the chat. He said, "Reed, DQ for dinner. With my boys this evening. Got to try the holiday nog milkshake. It's not fast food. It's fan food, not fast food. Or it's fast food, not fan food. Or it's fan food, not fast food.
Sounds pretty good.
That's DQ's saying.
Oh,
like little jingle.
We got to go try
that eggnog. I love eggnog. I don't know about you. I love eggnog, so I definitely have to try that, Joshua. What are you getting at DQ? Little chicken strips?
Yeah, what do you got? Thank you, James Ratchko. Appreciate you. Bobby Johnson said, Joey, you should be QB. I should be out there. I think it'd be way more energetic, exciting. Johnny Manziel. Guys, we got so many quarterbacks on this list of Cleveland Browns. David with the $5 super chat. Shout out, David. Let's go, David. Thank you so much. Guys, when you super chat, we're going to put you on the screen, shout you out, and we're going to make you part of our video today. We're going to post a video on YouTube at the end with your questions, your takes. We're going to answer them all. David says, sign Kyle Slaughter in question. They say we want an adult quarterback. What about an adult coach? Is Kevin a child coach, or is he an adult head coach? Stefanski, I think his demeanor is one we don't need in Cleveland right now either. We need a little bit more juice, a little bit more excitement. You know, he's a very stern, stoic head coach, and the reason I point to John Gruden as another example is I think we need someone a little more passionate, a little more excited to be here, to be back coaching football, and bring some energy. And so it's a funny question, David, but yeah, I think it's time for a little bit more of a change in Cleveland. And it seems we're headed that way. It seems Stefanski's going to be on his way out. If he's not next year, if we're picking in the top 5 and he's still here, where's the justification in that? How can you explain it? Dable's fired. Brian Callahan fired. What's Stefanski's excuse if we have back-to-back top 5 draft picks, We'll see, Browns fans. We'll see. Keep those questions coming in. You guys are great. Like I said, lots of updates for you on today's show. Lots of fun to be had. Share a question or take with a super chat. We'll make it part of our video. Or use the hashtag Browns to comment some questions in there, just like Moose the Monk just did. Saying, is it possible for the Browns to make the playoffs on a win streak? It's possible. Mathematically, right? We're not out. We should dare. Actually, I wonder, you don't have to dig for it, but I just wonder if you knew if you had the AFC playoff picture graphic. I think we're mentioned on it. I think it's not over. Maybe we put that in. Oh, yeah. Get ready for this, Browns fans. How about in the hunt? In the hunt in November. Look at Cleveland in the other section at 2-7. It's your current AFC playoff picture, ladies and gentlemen. Browns not done yet. I guess the Titans aren't done either mathematically, huh? That's crazy. 1-8, Tennessee. We're still alive. We're still alive, Moose. NFC playoff picture. Yeah, man. Look, the Panthers having 5 wins is kind of surprising this year, more than the Vikings. It's our old pal Baker. 6-3 over there in Tampa Bay. Man, at least we're not dead yet. Not dead yet, folks. Not dead yet. I love how people are just spamming random quarterback names now. Jamarcus Russell. And is Warren Moon still alive?
Still alive and still available.
Yeah. Reginald, even if he is dead, he goes. It's crazy. Hey, man. At least we're not the Titans. That's right, Moose. Dude, Dillon Gabriel
That's a
is
good
really,
point.
really not getting it done right now. No matter which way you look at it. LeBron James said, Quinshon Judkins Wildcat, trust me. That's how we scored touchdowns against the Dolphins. Literally, 2 of the touchdowns were Wildcat to Judkins. Obviously, he was going to run it. It didn't matter. Boom. That's what I always said, James. I loved Baker and his moxie. I never wanted to get rid of it. Rid of him. Never. Lots of updates for you on today's show, Browns fans. I say we start to get right into them. We got an update on all things Browns quarterbacks. Some Deshaun Watson news came out this morning. Some Shedeur Sanders theories. I mean, seriously, why is he not starting? We're going to look at some reasons why that might be. And finally, Q&A mailbag, super chat with your questions, or use the hashtag Browns. And I say without further ado, we start to get into this first segment here about Deshaun Watson in the latest on number 4. That's right. He's in the news. Let's see what it's about, Browns fans. Got you covered on today's show. How you feeling, Reed? Yeah? Ready to hop into it? I believe so. Whenever you are. Take your time. Yeah. Not the channel logo? Okay. I feel like it should be the channel logo. If that would be quick. Cool. Josh was saying, Reed usually go for one of the flavored chicken strips. Ooh, what flavor, Joshua Miller? Don't leave us hanging like that. Cleborp. If anyone thinks watching should start, wow. You guys remember? Yeah, you guys remember. It got bad when Watson was playing towards the end of his last few starts with the Browns. Simon, what's up, man? Tone, what up? Joshua Miller, look at all the real ones in the chat right now. Joshua Miller saying barbecue, baby, woo! That's good. I might get some chicken tenders tonight, honestly. Hit up trivia. Order some of the chicken strips. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, let's go. That's awesome. Alrighty. Tone. Doing the Joey oh.
Joshua, yes.
That's right, Joshua.
Trivia with Petey.
I might go. I'm down to go tonight if anyone else is. I don't know if you're going, but
I will not be going.
ah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna try to. See the old host. Alrighty, friends. W. Joshua. I see you get ready. You know what? If you want to, you could also, when you push me, you could get your next thing set up before I start if you want. If you want me to. Okay, bet. Cool. All right, y'all. Oh, that's funny, Moose. I'll see how possible that could be. I don't know. All right, let's get into our first update, everybody. All right, I'm going to go here. NFL reporter Albert Breer just gave us a crazy rumor about Deshaun Watson that could take place this season, ladies and gentlemen, and it might harm Shedeur Sanders' chances of playing. You're not going to want to miss this. Could number 4 really be getting back out on the field? We're going to answer that question later in this video, but really quick, we're in a Week 11 sub-battle here at Chat Sports. The Ravens rundown has gained 430 new subscribers this week. We've gained 333 new subs. We're right there to beat them. I don't want to lose this. Browns fans, Ravens fans, and Steelers fans piss me off more than anybody else. We can destroy the Ravens fans and their channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Let's beat them on the field and off the field. Hit that sub button. All right, here's what Albert Breer had to say on if Watson would start before Shedeur Sanders. He goes, I wouldn't be surprised. My guess is they'd like to see both of them. The investment the organization has in those two guys is a different planet. Okay, first of all, get in the comments section right now. Give me a one-word reaction to the possibility of Deshaun Watson playing this season. You watched all the games. You're a Browns fan just like me. And it got really bad when Watson was playing towards the back half of his tenure in Cleveland. Give me one word in the comment section right now about the thought that he could return. Because my first reaction was just, I can't believe this is a possibility. I mean, we had taken this out of our minds. It seemed like we were just focusing on Gabriel and Shedeur. They're the two quarterbacks on the active roster, and that's it right now. Just the two young rookies. Perhaps that is the case because Watson is nearing a return, is starting to get healthy. I've got some updates to show you on that. But there is a point made here by Albert Breer. Shedeur is on a rookie deal for 4 years, 3 more after this year. The investment is completely different. Deshaun Watson is being guaranteed hundreds of millions of dollars to sit on the bench. Shedeur is not getting paid nearly as much, and he's already under contract for a few years on a good deal. And Watson, obviously, his clock is running out. I believe he's 30 years old. And so another development in the Deshaun Watson saga and his rehab, well, he just posted this on Instagram yesterday, November 11th, not too long ago. More pictures of him running around, working out, throwing with the caption, be ready. Ready for what? Is he coming back? Is this happening? What is going on right now? All of a sudden, reporters are speculating about it, and Watson is posting up a storm about how he's looking good and his rehab is looking great. So let's hear from the head coach. Kevin Stefanski was asked about this. The reporter said, would Deshaun Watson be cleared to practice this week? Stefanski said, yeah, I'm not sure if that's what we're doing. He doesn't know. We don't have a definitive answer. I mean, seriously, guys, seems like this is a conversation. But what I would take a step back and say to you is do not forget that our owner, Jimmy Haslam, called it a big swing and miss publicly. I mean, multiple times Haslam has referenced the Watson deal as being a bad hand for Kevin Stefanski and a literal swing and a miss. So the fact that they would even consider starting him before turning to Shedeur Sanders is ludicrous. I mean, seriously, who in that organization doesn't like Shedeur? It must be a Stefanski thing. We're going to talk about that later. But let's look at some of Deshaun Watson's numbers when he played for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, you guys remember how it went. Look at his QBR last year, 21. Multiple interceptions across all 3 years, and he's never played a full season for us. You know, back-to-back years, there was a season-ending injury, and obviously when we traded for him, we knew he was going to get suspended, and we still paid him guaranteed $200 million and gave up first-round picks. I mean, God, look at the QBRs over the 3 years. It was not pretty. Don't forget what we saw when Deshaun Watson was starting for the Cleveland Browns. Stefanski gave another, quote-unquote, update about Watson today. Well, actually, he just said, yeah, I don't have an update there. So I don't know if he's just doing what he usually does and doesn't want to tell us anything that's going on, or if genuinely they're not communicating with Stefanski. I mean, they didn't tell him when they were trading Joe Flacco. This organization dysfunctional at the top is what I'm noticing. The other reality of the Deshaun Watson drama, though, is he was never benched. Not once when he was the starting quarterback in Cleveland. No matter how bad it got, did they ever make the decision to bench him for bad play? It always took an injury for Deshaun Watson to not be the quarterback of the Browns. So when he is fully healthy, you have to consider that Cleveland would repeat history and continue to do what they were doing, which is start Watson despite how bad he was playing, kind of what they're doing with Dillon Gabriel right now. And I have to say, with how bad Gabriel has looked the past few weeks, it might even be better to watch Deshaun Watson right now. I can't believe I'm saying that because, like I showed you, it was really bad when number 4 played there. But Dillon Gabriel right now, I'm really not seeing any sort of ability that I could point to or promise in Dillon's game right now. And I know there's issues on the Cleveland Browns, but he's not a mobile quarterback. He's obviously short, and so accuracy has to be his number one thing. And he's missing easy throws. A lot of development needed there for number 8. And like I said, if they really were to do this, if they really were to start Deshaun before Shedeur, I think that's a telltale sign that Stefanski and Shedeur aren't meant to be together. They're not trying to go to Sanders because Stefanski picked Dillon Gabriel, and that was their pick in the NFL draft this year. And look, you all know leading up to the draft, Shedeur was a top prospect. This is what Mel Kiper raved about. His numbers at Colorado were impressive. He led the FBS in completion percentage, y'all. I do believe there is upside here. I believe that there is potential with this kid. And so to go back to something that didn't work, which in Deshaun Watson, before seeing number 12, I mean, that would just be crazy. And I think it would show that the Browns are done with this season. But like I said, there is a vast difference in the investment that the Browns are putting into those two quarterbacks. And so if they think their season's done, there's a real chance that they would go back to Watson. What would you want the Browns to do, Browns fans? Pick your quarterback for the rest of the year. These are the options. Type 12 if Shedeur Sanders should be the starter going forward. Type 8 if Dillon Gabriel should remain the starter. If you think once Watson's healthy, it's time to get him back out there, you can type 4. So it's a horror movie, I know. But pick your number, put it in the comments section, Browns fans. Curious what you want to happen this season. Coming up on the show, the Browns signed another wide receiver to the active roster. Is that a sign of who will play quarterback? We're going to talk about the receiver they're bringing in. But first, super excited to tell you guys that this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but that feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Football is in full swing now on Sundays. All is right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with Prize Picks. I'm obsessed with it. It makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. You can also follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. I've got a lineup as always. I like Drake May more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's been lighting it up this year. Bo Nix, more than half a passing touchdown. And Javonte Williams, more than 73.5 rushing yards against the awful Las Vegas Raiders. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. The Cleveland Browns have announced that they signed wide receiver Kaden Davis to the active roster. You may remember this name if you are the kind of crazy diehard Browns fan like I am that was watching preseason football. Well, then you know the name Kaden Davis. But let me tell you a little bit about him. And if you've been watching the show, we had some watch parties during the preseason where Kaden Davis made an impact. He really was a preseason standout. What I like about Davis is he is a bigger receiver. 6'1", 193 pounds. This year, they've used him in the return game as well due to some injuries to DeAndre Carter. And he had one kick return for 28 yards. But now he's officially on the active roster. Doesn't need to be elevated like the one time when they used him. And remember, he caught 2 touchdowns in preseason, both of them thrown by Shedeur Sanders in that Panthers game. Could this be a little omen, signing a receiver that Shedeur liked in the preseason, that Sanders could be getting in soon? I do think regardless, that wide receiver room needed some more help. Isaiah Bond was not able to play last week when we finally got Cedric Tillman back, who's working his way in, got 4 targets. I did like what I saw from Seti, and Judy got a lot more involved last week, so that's good. Gage Larvidan's on that roster now. Also, we're sprinkling in a little bit more Malachi Corley, which I like his end-around specifically have been going for some big gains. And so adding a 6'1" Kaden Davis I think will be good. I don't think it solves all of our issues, but like I said, he balled out in the preseason. I'm glad he's earned his way onto this roster now. And let's see if we can turn to Shedeur and they could have a little connection in the regular season this time. That would be electric. Show Kaden Davis some love, though. Like the video if you're excited to bring back the preseason standout wide receiver, bigger fella. I think he could add some verticality, some deep threat action for the Cleveland Browns and would be able to help either rookie quarterback that is back there just to have a bigger target. So show some love. Like the video if you are a diehard Browns fan and you're excited when we add players to the roster, good players specifically. Thank you guys so much for watching this edition of the Browns Report. Go on over to X and follow me at JoeyO70 if you want to talk more Cleveland Browns and get more quarterback updates. I'm on there tweeting all the time. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video and be the first person to know about Browns news. Join the family here on the Browns Report. We thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Awesome. Awesome. LeBron James said, from what I know, he doesn't drop balls, so that's good. That is good. Jerry Jeudy's had some drops this year. Joshua Miller said, yes, 67 likes. W. Josh.
You got your son a 6'7" shirt, right? And he was getting hounded at school.
Yes, that's electric, Josh. I got to get one myself. Tone with the $2 super chat. No one wants Watson in a Cleveland uniform. Browns fans are done with him. Reed and I were talking about it off camera before we got on live. It got really bad. Like, fans were just done with him completely towards the end.
I remember last year. If you were here last year, there were people in the chat that were very, very happy when he tore his Achilles.
Which
crazy.
Yeah. Which we never root for injuries. Like, that's crazy. But he should have been benched, though. And they didn't do it. Tone, thank you so much for the 2.
Tacos, he's returning from his injury. He's we'll show you a picture. This is him working out on his Instagram.
Deshaun Watson, his latest Instagram post.
He said, "Be ready."
Hours ago. Be ready. For what? What's going on? What's going on? This is crazy. But it's really becoming a possibility. Joshua Miller, new Browns Report motto. We need to do better. That is the classic Kevin Stefanski press response. The Browns fans know. Hey, Kevin, what do you make of the special team's mistakes? Yeah, we need to be better there. Okay, so be better. Yeah, I got to coach better. So, okay, you say that every week. That's funny.
It's like, hey, you're late on your rent. What's going on? Yeah, got to make more money, man.
Yeah, I got to be better.
Gotta be better. Got to make more money.
I'm gonna start saying that when people ask me like why I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, I got to be better. Okay. Not even like we'll fix that. It's literally just, we got to be better. No shit, dude. Paula Chandler with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Paula. Fire Stefanski. and kick his and Watson's butt out the door. Could be the case next year, literally in the offseason. This Watson thing, though, is really going to be interesting. When he is healthy, like, how is Cleveland going to navigate that? Because he's making so much money to sit on the bench. And to my point, they never did bench him. But he was bad, and the owner has said it was bad. So, like, what's going to happen? That's why you subscribe. We will cover you the minute we get the breaking news.
I think, like, as much as, man, they might have to start him.
That's crazy.
Because they might have to start him and then cut him after this year.
Honestly, that might be what they do. He's still going to have his cap hit next year is $80 million. Deshaun Watson's is.
That's better than what it would have been.
Ugh.
That's pause, eatable. But I forget what it would have been before this year. But if you just cut them,
yeah,
it's like an unreal amount of money that you have to pay.
Oh gosh. And the dead cap, says 167 million. Not even kidding. It's bad, dude. So we'll see. When is he? He's a free agent in 2027, though. It's 2 more years, Browns fans. Hold on. Hold on. Unbelievable contract in sports history. Unbelievable. If you guys want a question or a take of yours heard on the show, super chat with it. We'll put you up on screen and make you part of the video. Or use the hashtag Browns in the live chat with a question or a take. So comment whatever you want me to answer, and put the hashtag Browns next to it. We got more news to get into for you guys on today's show, though. We're going to talk about some Shedeur Sanders news as well. Some theories. What's going on there? Why is he not being considered or given reps? I mean, seriously. It's supposed to be a rookie quarterback battle. What's going on? We're going to talk about that. And like I said, Q&A coming up at the end of the show. Moose said he's already put in 7 questions. What a legend. W. Moose. Eric Potter wants to know when Shedeur will start. I should also, I'll probably say that in the next video, but I will preface it with, even if they did turn to Watson, like, that wouldn't be it for Shedeur. Like, he still has a very real chance of playing for the Browns, and I really think that he'll play the last 4 weeks this year.
I think if they go to Shedeur, or if they go to either Watson or Shedeur, Gabriel's out.
Yeah. This is so weird. Like, it's a 3rd-round pick, and it's like you're probably
he'll find somewhere else.
You're probably gonna move on faster from him than like most other draft picks that you drafted to be the starting quarterback.
I feel like it'll be like you get traded like DTR, something like that.
Yeah. It's just not great. DTR. Something like that. Yeah. But my prediction would be that Shedeur plays the last 4 weeks. Maybe he comes even earlier against the Titans. But Deshaun Watson's going to throw a wrench in this if he's healthy. Yeah, he was a 5th. I think we traded him to the Eagles had him. Yeah. DTR. Yeah, we've had some bad quarterbacks over the years. So, that's another good question, Moose. Is the NFL still looking at Judkins' case? Because they never gave us they never gave us an update on that. But it could end up being like Rashee Rice's situation, where it's just like, all right, we'll forget about it. He can play the whole year.
Minus the knee injury.
Yeah. So we'll see. Red Zone Reels wants Jordan Tyson in the draft. Or Carnell Tate or Spencer Fano. I'm totally with that. Yeah, but if we don't have that, it's like chicken or the egg.
I know. It's like if you're like, you get a really good wide receiver, it's like, well, you got nobody throws it. And it's like, well, You get a quarterback, and then he's got nobody
No
to
one
throw
to
to.
throw to.
Like,
Right.
nobody to throw to him. Whoa. Time it!
I hope and really think that we're setting up to give Shedeur like a fair shot. Honestly, like, he's sitting there right now. It's like once you realize Dillon is weeded out, they're like, all right, let's not ruin another young rookie. let's draft. Right. Let's draft some talent on offense and see what Shedeur can do. But we'll see. Who knows? They might want Mendoza. I know Joshua Miller's a big Mendoza guy. And he's a bigger quarterback. Look, there he is right on cue. Joshua Miller. So, yeah. Eric Potter. We could pick up Greg in free agency. I like how, I mean, obviously, I know he's talking about Greg Newsome, but probably. But it's funny, like, if you didn't know, it's just like, we could get Greg. Someone's like, who's Greg?
Greg Heffley?
Yeah. That's funny. All right, folks. Y'all ready to talk about Shedeur? What's going on? What is happening? We got some theories for y'all as to why he's not. Why are the Browns refusing to even consider going to Shedeur Sanders? Let's answer those questions right now. And I'm going to give you some theories here as to what I think is going on. Yeah. Are the sponsor lower thirds corrected? Like, I don't know if you need a read only. By chance? Garrett says, Browns need offensive line help. Yes, they do. CJ wants Tate to the Bengals. You guys already have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. We need the stud wide receivers. You probably won't draft one. That's funny. Joshua Miller. Sweet. Perfection. Moose. Imagine the Browns reuniting Smith, Judkins, and Tate. That'd be over the next couple years, but it'd be electric. I wish Jeremiah Smith was eligible. I'll take me Carnell Tate, though. I just don't know if we're going to have to, how high you're going to have to draft. I saw a CBS sports mock draft that had the Giants taking Carnell Tate at 3. I was like, dang. Yeah, we shall see. But without further ado, let's talk about it. Oh, JJ Mad. $10 super chat. Up to you. JJ Mad. He says, with a 10, he said, prove me wrong, Sanders. Did you say that Sanders won't be good? What's he got to prove? But thank you so much for that $10 super chat, JJ Mad. Let's go. Because I hope Shedeur balls out as well, you know? I think that's a good perspective too if you're a Browns fan, because I have Browns fans that actually don't like Shedeur in my chat. But that would be what you should be saying, right? Like, prove me wrong though. If you're a Browns fan, like we've been wanting a quarterback for so long. If there's a chance that he's the guy, show us. Let's see it. I'm excited to see him play when he finally does. Let's talk about why they're not playing him right now. I mean, how can you not have this conversation when we're watching Dillon Gabriel's performances over the last 4 or 5 weeks? So let's talk about it, Browns fans, on our next segment. You ready? Oh, yeah. Okay. Here we go. Why is Shedeur Sanders not the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns? Why do the Browns refuse to turn to number 12? I've got multiple theories we're going to look at here on today's show. You're not going to want to miss what could be going on behind the scenes in the Browns front office that's leading to Shedeur remaining on the bench. Before we get into that, hit that subscribe button so that you know what's going on. We're pushing to 60K this November. If you want all the updates on Browns quarterbacks, on when Shedeur is going to start, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on, so you'll get a notification that says, boom, breaking, Shedeur's the starting quarterback. Hit that subscribe button to be in the know for all things Browns. Okay, how we're going to do this is a little rumors list system. So how it works is I'm going to say the rumor, and then we're going to use Shedeur Sanders' heads to justify how true the rumors are. So if I don't put a single Shedeur head next to the rumor, it's completely fake news. If I put one Shedeur head there, there's a small shred of truth. If I put two Shedeur heads, people are talking about this. Three Shedeur heads, it's pretty likely that this is the case. And finally, if I get all four Shedeur heads on there, that means watch. It's happening. Because Shedeur loves to hold up the wristwatch. And so, without further ado, let's get into the first rumor on the rumor list. The main reason Shedeur isn't starting is Kevin Stefanski. And you know what? There's a lot to be said about this, that Stefanski's the one that doesn't want to go to him, that doesn't want to name him the starting quarterback. Is it all completely on Kevin? Well, a reporter asked Kevin Stefanski for an update on Shedeur, and the question was, Jimmy Haslam said during training camp that you knew that seeing both young quarterbacks at some point this season was important. So where is Shedeur at as far as his development? And do you have a timetable of when you would take a look at him? Stefanski said, yeah, I don't think it's fair to speculate. We're committed to getting better as an offense. Dillon is certainly committing to improving every which way he can. And all the while, all of our players, young players, are developing and working so hard behind the scenes to make sure that they're getting better on a daily basis. And so Stefanski seems like he doesn't want to make this decision. He's like, yeah, it's not fair to give a timetable, which I get. But that is showing, once again, that they really are choosing Dillon Gabriel to be the starting quarterback and see something in him. And so I wonder, what if Kevin Stefanski's job is tied to Dillon Gabriel? Tied to Gabriel being a good quarterback, right? This was a choice that he made. When he benched Flacco, he named Gabriel the starter. He named Gabriel the backup before the season. And obviously, the Browns as a whole drafted Dillon Gabriel in the third round when Shedeur Sanders was still available. So this is their choice, and maybe it's the owner saying, fine, go with your guy. If Gabriel is terrible, then you're out of here. Honestly, that theory is starting to make the most sense, that Jimmy Haslam in the fifth round was like, you can't let Shedeur go past here. I mean, he's going to bring in so much revenue for the Cleveland Browns. And Stefanski didn't want to draft number 12. So, like I said, Gabriel still blows. It might be the case of we're going to ride him out, and if the numbers like this continue, then Stefanski's job is gone. And then they'll bench Gabriel. And that's why Kevin is continuously sticking and trying to improve his guy that he chose. And if Stefanski's wrong, and our offense has been bad for 2 years, you're fired. And they may want to be setting up Shedeur. He'll get a new coach. That's what I think could be happening here. You also have to look at this tie between Kevin Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel and a lot of the Browns coaches. An ESPN article told us that the CAA influence in Cleveland is strong. Jimmy Sexton, who declined to comment for this story, has represented the past two Browns head coaches, Freddie Kitchens and Kevin Stefanski, and another CAA agent represents Andrew Berry. Some other coaches under CAA are Dan Lanning, Brent Venables, and Gus Malzahn. All coaches that Dillon Gabriel played for in college. So this could stem even deeper into an agency sort of under contract thing. And Stefanski seems to be really trying to push Gabriel, and if it doesn't work, it might take his job being fired to see Shedeur. I honestly think this gets 3 Shedeur heads. That Kevin Stefanski is the main reason why Shedeur Sanders isn't starting. He doesn't want to turn to him. He doesn't want to be wrong. And his job could be on the line if he's wrong. So I think it's literally the head coach not trying to go to him. Weigh in for me. Is Kevin Stefanski the reason Shedeur isn't playing? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You think the head coach is the biggest part of it? Do you think he doesn't want to start Shedeur? I mean, seriously, all his actions would indicate that he doesn't want him to play. He hasn't even given him reps with the first teams ever. When Haslam said it's important to see them both, I think Stefanski is preventing it from happening. The next theory is that the Browns are having a complete tank job. They're literally soft tanking, we'll call it, by going out there and playing quarterbacks who are bad, and we're losing games, including losing to the New York Jets, which is just fathomable. The numbers for Dillon Gabriel, we've updated the PFF stats, and his grade is the worst in the NFL now. It's 37th out of 37 at 49.9. Yards per attempt, up to 5 from 4.9. Completion percentage, 58.6. In turnover-worthy plays, he's got 10 of them. We don't take shots, and we're inefficient at short passes. That's what you need to know about this. It is unbelievable. And Kevin Stefanski was asked about Dillon Gabriel's progression. A reporter said, Kevin, what progress have you seen from Dillon? Start 1 to start 5. What areas have you seen drastic improvement? And Stefanski said, well, I think with young quarterbacks, it's understanding that there's going to be ups and downs. Can Dillon play better? Yes, he can. Can we play better around him? Yes, we can. Can we coach him better? Yes, we can. So I understand the question, but I just trust that our young players at every position, and certainly at the quarterback position, are guys that are going to work their tails off to get better every single day. He couldn't name one thing. The question was, what improvement have you seen? He didn't say a single area of improvement. Are we literally tanking? What the heck's going on here? You gave up 2 special teams touchdowns to the lowly New York Jets. I seriously cannot come up with a reason, or I never would have even expected us to be losing to the New York Jets that week. And somehow, some way, everything went wrong on special teams and then undisciplined football. The Browns have 2 first-round picks also. And so they're gearing up for another big draft after a draft haul that is very impactful for them. Young rookies making an impact for Cleveland this year so far. Schlesinger, Judkins, Graham, Fannin, you name it, we got him. Bond as well. And so you're not allowed to tank. But people are starting to speculate that the Cleveland Browns need to be investigated because they're continuously starting bad quarterbacks, continuously losing games, even though our defense is one of the best in the league. Remember, Hugh Jackson came out and said he was being incentivized to lose games under Jimmy Haslam. Now, Hugh Jackson is the worst head coach I think I've ever seen with my own eyes. So maybe he's just trying to defend himself. But it's worth throwing out there here while discussing this tank rumor. The bottom line is the Browns' stats are awful, and the play calls are so bad that people are literally speculating that our team is losing games on purpose to get a better draft pick. I'll put 2 Shedeur heads next to this. Like, I can't go out and say that the Browns are tanking. Otherwise, literally, they would be in trouble with the National Football League. So I don't think they're literally purposefully losing games. But I think you could make the argument it's a soft tank. Like, hey, it's not the worst thing in the world if we lose. From the top perspective, which is a losing mentality, and I hate that. Myles Garrett is throwing his helmet in frustration. He wants to be committed to winning football. So I don't think that's the most likely scenario, but tank job is something that people have brought up a lot. I give it 2 heads. Before we get into some more theories as to why the Browns just refuse to play Shedeur, I'm going to tell you guys about this awesome deal we've got going on at Chat Sports here. You can get a sick Browns hoodie that I wear myself here on the show for over 50% off if you go to chatsports.com/Browns hoodie. It's an easy link to remember. I'm going to put it in the comment section. I'm going to put it in the description so you can find it easily. But just go ahead and type in chatsports.com/Browns hoodie if you want. The weather's getting colder. It's a nice, comfortable way to rep your favorite team on Sundays. Sit on the couch, watch some football, watch with your family. Get cozied up in this lovely Browns hoodie and join our watch party where we'll be live for it. It was $70. It's now just $28 to get this Browns hoodie. Perfect for the winter season. Chatsports.com/Browns hoodie. Going over there. Get yourself one right now. All right. The next theory as to why Shedeur isn't starting. They're protecting Shedeur. They don't want to throw him into an awful situation that is the Cleveland Browns offense and surrounding supporting cast right now. There is something to be said about this, right? Maybe, just maybe, Shedeur is the franchise quarterback. Maybe he really is the guy that should have been the first overall pick in the NFL draft. Mel Kiper and Skip Bayless and other analysts had come out and said. And so if that is the case, if his talent really is there, maybe they want Shedeur to be in a better situation before they throw him into the fire. Maybe they want an offensive line around Shedeur. Maybe they want a coach that actually wants to coach for Shedeur. Stefanski seems like he's not that kind of guy. And they're going to wait for a better situation before putting in our franchise quarterback of the future. And that would mean a new offensive line. That would mean a new head coach, like I said, and some more weapons, right? A wide receiver group that can make it easier on a young, developing quarterback. A lot of great quarterbacks in NFL history had to wait. The Packers seem to do it a lot, right? Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre. Jordan Love was drafted a couple years early to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. And so you've looked at some examples in NFL history, and perhaps it's not a bad idea for Shedeur to sit on the sideline and learn if he's going to be the guy for the future. Now, the difference in those situations is, well, they were getting actual good quarterback play from Favre, from Rodgers, while the others were waiting. Dillon Gabriel's been terrible. And I think some reps right now would be beneficial for Shedeur to at least get his feet wet in the NFL and get some reps. Even if it is a bad situation, well, we can still make those improvements in the offseason, and the game will look even easier for Shedeur if he's going to be the guy going forward. So I don't think that Cleveland sees him as this franchise guy, at least not the ownership right now. But I think that situation could really emerge. I do see the potential in Shedeur. I think there is a real chance he can be a great quarterback. He was supposed to be one of the top picks in the draft. I don't think the Cleveland Browns are planning this, though. I think this is more of an issue of Stefanski doesn't believe in Shedeur like we do. And so it's going to take him having to bite his tongue or lose his job. So I'm only going to give this one Shedeur head. Not because I don't think it could happen, meaning I think Shedeur could end up emerging and playing well for the Browns, but I don't think the Browns are saving him. I don't think they are treating it as such. So I'm giving that one Shedeur head. All right, the last theory here that we're going to look at that people are saying is that Shedeur isn't good. They think Shedeur is perhaps just not talented enough to start for the Browns. And I'm just going to tell you this right now. That is absolutely fake news. There's no dang way that is true. Because what we're seeing from the quarterbacks of the Cleveland Browns right now is atrocious. No way, no how is Shedeur not good enough to start for this Browns team right now. Why do I say that, though? Because of what we've seen from Gabriel, because of what we've seen from Joe Flacco. I mean, the stats are so bad, you can't tell me that Shedeur's going to look worse than Gabriel right now. I mean, seriously, there's no way, no quarterback in the league looks worse than Gabriel right now. So I just don't think that's the case. Even if you don't believe in him to be a super talent going forward, it can't be that he's not. It can't be that he's not as good as Gabriel. I mean, seriously, he's got better intangibles than Gabriel, more size, even more mobility, more arm strength. I mean, really, point to the aspect of Gabriel's game that was evaluated higher than Shedeur's. The only thing they would tell us was processing and decision-making, and that's been awful through 5 weeks for Dillon Gabriel. So the knock on Shedeur was he holds onto the ball a little bit too long. We saw that maybe in the Rams game when he had a backup offensive line. Overall, I think most areas of the game, I would favor Shedeur. So the reason I put that as fake news is because of how bad the quarterback play has been in Cleveland. Like, there's no way he's that bad. Seriously. All right, those are the theories, ladies and gentlemen. How you feeling? If you want Shedeur to start, you're tired of seeing him sit on the bench and not even get a rep, then spam 12 in the comments section. Spam it, spam it, spam it down below. 12 if you want to see Shedeur play. I certainly would be spamming it. I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for some life, some energy in the Browns Stadium. And I think the atmosphere would be electric just by him getting out there and getting the start. So comment 12 down below. Make sure you subscribe to the Browns Report because I got you covered when the news is announced. I'll be on here. I'll probably be going live, and you're not going to want to miss it when 12 finally gets his opportunity. So thank you guys so much for watching this edition of the Browns Report, and we will see you next time. Boom. Boom. Keep spamming those 12s if you want to see him play. Spam 12. Spam it, spam it. What'd you think, Reed? Great? Which theory?
I agree. I think Stefanski and Dillon's job are linked because I think this is honestly, I think the Giants are a good example of this. Hey, we'll draft this guy. We'll agree with you.
Yeah.
This is Stefanski. I did my research. I know which guy I want. My guy is Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah.
And first of all, what are you looking at? Second of all, Haslam. This is my theory. This is my rumor.
Yeah.
Or not rumor. Not even a rumor.
Yeah.
This is my opinion.
Yeah.
What I think is happening.
Yeah.
Haslam goes, okay. I want Shedeur, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you're the coach.
Take your guy.
Take your guy. We trust you. Take your guy. But if he doesn't do well and we're not winning games with him, you're out.
Right.
And I wonder if there's a timetable of like you have until now or you have until we're mathematically out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or that sort of thing. Like you have until we're mathematically out.
Imagine.
And then you're out.
Right.
If you're not winning with your guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they probably traded Joe Flacco. And they were like,
yeah,
you're up, Stefanski. You and your guy are up. Go.
Literally.
If you don't get it, you're out. And so now he's like, now he doesn't want to put Shedeur in because if he does, that means he's giving up on his guy. That means he's out.
Right.
So he wants to continue on with Gabriel because if he can win, then yes. Same thing happened with Dable. Jackson Dart was his guy.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't win with your guy, though, they cut him.
You're out. Right. They want these quarterbacks to develop. That's why Cam Ward, first overall pick. If Brian Callahan's a loser, get out. We want our quarterback to play well, you know? So, but I think, the reason why we were looking into these theories, too, is this is no ordinary situation. Like, if this wasn't the two quarterbacks that we're talking about, you would think it's normal. The quarterback, you draft in the third round. Of course, they're playing him over their fifth round draft pick. But this is a situation of a quarterback that was supposed to be a first round pick and a quarterback that is playing awful, is not showing flashes or promise, and no one had rated ahead of the other quarterback. And so that's why as fans, we've watched both of them play in college, and people are screaming so much about this particular situation because we don't agree with the evaluation. And so that's why I think we're all confused here.
You can kind of go back to Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. Hey, Chase. You can kind of go back to the Deshaun Watson thing. He was terrible.
Yeah.
He was really, really bad.
Right.
And they still stuck with him.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Dillon Gabriel is bad. They're just sticking with him. Like
right.
I remember every week last year being like, is this the week that they go, all right, we're gonna change it up? Nope. Trotting Watson out there and he's running around in the backfield, getting sacked and throwing in interceptions. Like,
yeah.
And you're like, what are we doing? And I mean, it's got to be, this is our guy. We're going to do it until something happens.
Right.
And I think the something happens is you finally have that losing season and you're out.
Clean house, honestly. I don't even know if Andrew Berry's safe right now. Even after some great draft picks last year. But they might need a completely clean house next season because the scheme's not working. So lots of Browns news could be coming up, folks. Chase with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Chase. He says, I just love some of the Browns' decisions. Smiley face.
I think I can hear the sarcasm out of that super chat.
I can hear it as well. Which is kind of what Reed and I were just saying, too. It's like, I think their decisions are just wrong. And that's why we're screaming about it. Like, I never agreed with the Gabriel draft pick. when Shedeur was on the board. And he fell to the 5th. And I was like, all right. I think that's starting to make the most sense now. Is that Haslam's like, all right, well, don't let him go by the 5th round. I let you take your guy, but he's still here.
So I actually just thought of something interesting.
Yeah.
So, remember when I was like, oh, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and start Shedeur, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Try him out. His job. That's what Stefanski has to lose. That's what he has to lose.
That's what people are saying now.
And to think, okay, how many games did Joe Flacco play for the Browns this season?
Like 4.
4?
Yeah.
How many did Gabriel play?
Like 5.
5?
Yep.
Why not switch to Shedeur after 4 or 5
Exactly.
games? Because you did it with Flacco. Flacco wasn't working out.
Right.
He threw a bunch of picks. He was not doing well.
Right.
And he was not winning you games.
Mm-hmm.
So you go, okay, let's go to our next guy. You bench Flacco, and you go to Dillon Gabriel. You go, okay.
Right. Natural progression.
You start him for 4 games. Not well. Not winning games. You lose to the freaking Jets.
Yeah. That's got to be the last
How
straw.
about, all right, we have another guy here. Let's try him.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, we're going to stick with Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah.
You wonder why. It's because of his job.
Yeah. I think for some reason, someone believes in Dillon Gabriel and really wants it to be him. And it seems like that's Stefanski. And his job could be on the line of that. Because also, watch, Shedeur goes out there and balls out. Like, Stefanski's wrong. He was wrong. So everybody's got to go. That was wrong. So I don't know. We shall see, ladies and gentlemen. We knew in the preseason that Browns quarterback drama was going to be a big storyline all season, and it is living up to that dramatic hype.
I just think the theory of be consistent. If you're gonna go 4 games with a quarterback and he's not working,
right,
then you try something else, right? That's what the normal person does. We were fine with it. We were excited, actually. We're like, all right, yeah, let's see what Gabriel can do,
right?
Because Flacco's not working.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 5 games, like, all right, well, Gabriel's not working.
Right.
So if you're gonna be consistent as a coach, you go to the next guy, right?
Right.
You'd be like, all right, we tried it, didn't work. Let's go to the next guy.
Right.
And I get, like, if you want to be private and not say anything about what your plan is of like, oh yeah, if this doesn't work, we're gonna go to Shedeur. Because then that would every defense or every team that you're playing for the next couple of weeks, they're all gonna know Shedeur.
Right.
And they're not gonna prepare for, and they're gonna prepare for him.
Right.
So it's like, I get that you want to be private about that, but like, how about just say something other than, yeah, we're just gonna stick with him.
Literally. And they're showing no indication of actually prepping Shedeur because he's not getting reps. So, at least he is officially QB2. And he's next up. He should be next up unless Watson comes into this mix, as you saw in our first video. Crazy stuff. Crazy, right? Crazy. Just want some winning football. Last segment on today's show is going to be a Q&A with you guys, the fans, the people. Super chat with a question or take, and we'll put it in the video for sure. Or comment a question or take with the hashtag Browns in the comment section. So let me know, Browns fans. Let me know. But yeah, crazy situation. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Heck yeah. Sure. Oh, that'll be the first one you're saying? Yeah, I kind of did that already. I was probably going to do... I mean... Definitely do. Yeah. I was thinking about this this one, honestly. But I don't know what you think, or if you wanted that to be towards the break. Yeah, I like that, honestly. 'Cause I feel like that also. Yes, sir. If you have. Yeah. Oh yeah, I get you. Cool. Sweet. All right. Actually, do we have? Nah. I don't know if we had anything quick on him. Probably not. Like a thing. I should have thought of that already. What I'm typing now. I don't know if we have one easily accessible, but if not, it's cool. Yeah, probably. Um, Zoe said, "In Joey OH, we trust." Let's go. Yo. Moose said he's out of questions. Yeah, Brian Tucker's talking about it too. He said they stuck with Watson, are sticking with Gabriel. What if he's Haslam's pick? That is interesting. I think it's Stefanski though. I think he gave those decisions to Stefanski and Barry. Like, you guys, I mean, Barry, they make the draft picks, and so here we are. Barry didn't even speak to the media this year. It was crazy. During the bye week, GM, he's always spoken to the media. He didn't want to take the questions. It's crazy. Crazy. Kimberly said, "How about none of the QBs in the poll?" That's all we got, Kimberly. It's just Gabriel and Shedeur on the active roster. And then now Watson is posting that his rehab is great. And he said, be ready. So Brian said he thinks so too. Yeah. I think it's those two, coach and GM. We'll see, though. We shall see. Kimberly, random player, Brian Hartline. What a name. What a name. What's up, Simon? What's going on? But yeah, folks, a lot of stuff going on with the Browns QB situation. As always, just wish we had the guy. Okay, bet. Yeah. Last video, guys, will be a Q&A for you. All your fan questions and super chats. Super chat to automatically get on the show. We're about to film a video that we're going to post on YouTube here on Saturday probably. So super chat now to get the early bird special and be a part of it. Here we go. Simon said, "What if Shedeur's not the answer? Then what do we do?" Dun dun. Draft another one. We got to hit eventually, right? It's been so long. All right. Say we do it. Might as well. Alrighty. Ready? All right. I'll let you start loading up, and then I'll go. All right. All right. Cool. Welcome in the Browns Report, everybody. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. Before we get into some major Cleveland Browns rumors that are swirling everywhere right now, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss Browns news when it breaks. We got the best Browns news on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Look at this. We're close to so many more milestones. But if 40 more people hit the sub button, we'll be at 58,500. So join the party. Free Cleveland Browns content. That's right. Free to hit the subscribe button. So join us here. And without further ado, let's get into our first question of today's show. We've got COD Ghost. Should the Browns go after Kyler Murray? Hashtag Browns. All right, a lot of rumors were swirling about Kyler essentially benched in Arizona for Jacoby Brissett. And it seems like Kyler Murray is an option that could be available this offseason, and someone that could have been traded, by the way. But his contract is awful. We've already got an overpay in the quarterback room with Deshaun Watson. Murray's contract was, I believe, record-breaking at the time, and it is just so much more money that the Browns would have to eat. I mean, Kyler, look, he's had flashes in the league. I mean, he was in conversations for top 15, people putting him in top 10 quarterback at one point in his career. As of late, that has not been the case, and he's also another shorter quarterback. Dillon Gabriel obviously not working for us right now. The difference, Kyler Murray has more mobility, but I think Kyler's time in the NFL is on the down, is regressing, and so I don't know if I love the idea of going after Kyler Murray. Right? What's the price? And the contract is just awful. What do you think, Browns fans? Do you want us to get Kyler Murray as a new quarterback? Type Y for yes in the comments section. Type N for no. Where are we at on the Arizona Cardinals signal caller? Let me know in that comment section. Look, I mean, if they did it, I'd find a way to be excited about it because of his promise in the league, but I don't really want it to happen. I don't think that it would be my pick to go get Kyler right now. I think we need a bigger quarterback, evidently. And let's see what Shedeur Sanders can do for the Cleveland Browns first. Joshua Miller, $5 super chat. So tired of every year talking about the next draft before Thanksgiving because we can't do anything. Also, still think Coach Kevin Stefanski would rather get fired than start Shedeur Sanders. Okay, great latter half of this take here, Joshua Miller, because I think there's some real validity to this sentiment. And we're starting to see some evidence of that with the Cleveland Browns organization's decision-making as of lately. Stefanski continuously is going to roll with Dillon Gabriel despite how bad the numbers really are. And so it seems like his job might be tied to Dillon Gabriel being the Browns quarterback of the future. That was the pick that Kevin Stefanski made. He said Gabriel is his guy. They're going to draft him in the third round. I don't think any other team was looking at drafting Dillon Gabriel that high, but they went ahead and did so. And then Shedeur was still available in the fifth round, and it's like, how could you not take him? You're a team that needs a quarterback. So I think that Stefanski is going to try and ride with Gabriel as long as he can, and it might end up costing him his job before we get to see Shedeur Sanders really start and be the quarterback of the Browns team, get a fair opportunity with the Browns, right? Maybe get him a coach that wants him to play, and that doesn't seem to be Stefanski right now. Let's see what happens going forward. Next up, we got David. Sign Kyle Slaughter and question. They say we want an adult quarterback. What about an adult coach? Is Kevin a child coach, or is he an adult head coach? Browns fans are hating on Kevin Stefanski right now, and for good reason, to be honest. I think Kevin Stefanski's demeanor is one that we could do without in Cleveland. He's very stoic. I would like to bring in a coach that has a little bit more fire, a little bit more passion. This is why we bring up names like John Gruden, who loves football. I mean, and he grew up a Cleveland guy. I think Stefanski's just very calm, never says anything in press conferences. Everybody's sick of it. Everybody's over it. The writing on the wall seems to be there for Cleveland. That Coach Kevin is on his way out. Hit the subscribe button so you know when it happens. I'll be on here immediately to tell you about it, and we'll go live. Next up, we got a question from Tone. Tone says, no one wants Watson in a Cleveland uniform, in all caps. Browns fans are adamant about their, quite frankly, disdain for Deshaun Watson and the play that we were subjected to watching the last time he was a starter for the Cleveland Browns. But rumors are swirling here. Deshaun put on his Instagram that he's working out, he's throwing, the rehab is looking good, and the caption is be ready. Be ready for what? Is he coming? Ready for this? I mean, look at his QBR all 3 years with the Browns. 21 in 2024. I mean, you guys remember it. You watched the games. It was bad. And that's why you got Browns fans like Tone in all caps saying, we don't want it. We're done with it. It failed. It's over. Jimmy Haslam said it was a swing and miss. It failed. But he wants to come back. He's playing. He's posting all about his workouts. There's a real possibility that when his practice window gets opened, there's 21 days to put him on the active roster. And all of a sudden, you have a quarterback making $200 million guaranteed, either sitting on the bench or let's get what we got, whatever's left out of him while he's signed until 2027. Browns fans don't want to see it. And Paula says, fire Stefanski and kick him and Watson's butt out the door. Another Browns fan showing they don't want to see Watson there. Nor Stefanski. I mean, this seems to be the trend that the Cleveland Browns are headed in, is a coaching change either by the end of this season or next season. And Watson, we just got to deal with for 2 more years unless they literally cut him and just take the hit. I mean, next year, his cap hit is $80 million. Unbelievable. We got to pay him for being on the roster, no matter what. Ridiculous. But Browns fans are fed up. They're done with it. And so I think I would rather see Shedeur next. Besides, once we're done evaluating Dillon Gabriel, I don't know what more they need to see through 5 games. I haven't seen flashes. And so I'd rather see 12 get out there next. But like I said, it might be a case of Stefanski is holding them back, and they're waiting for a coach that wants to call plays for Shedeur. We'll talk about some more Browns rumors coming up later on the show. But first, this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Football is in full swing now on Sundays, and I'm big into daily fantasy with Prize Picks. I love doing it. I'm obsessed with it. It makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. You can also follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. You might find my lineup in that new feed tab, and I've got Drake May more than 1.5 passing touchdowns on Thursday Night Football, Bo Nix more than half a passing touchdown, and Javonte Williams more than 73.5 rushing yards. My friend here at Chat Sports, who is our Raiders host, said to take more on everything against the Raiders. And so that includes Javonte Williams rushing. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Next up, we got someone who has Watson in the username saying, Bill Belichick back to Cleveland as head coach next season? Another coaching rumor, ladies and gentlemen. Bill Belichick, obviously coaching North Carolina right now. And to be honest, the idea of bringing Bill back to Cleveland. Now, Bill was kind of run out of Cleveland in his time here, and obviously went on to be a multiple-time Super Bowl winning head coach with the New England Patriots. I think he's lost a step, though. I think that girlfriend of his is literally ruined his focus and his coaching ability. I think he's tapped out. He's old. North Carolina's getting blown out in football games. What I would take Belichick on is I'd take breakup Belichick. If he's going through a breakup and goes into savage mode, he'd come out, chip on his shoulder. Maybe I'd take that Belichick. But I don't see him becoming Cleveland's head coach next season. Probably not in the cards here. Simon, if Shedeur isn't the answer, where do we go from there? Well, you draft another quarterback, just like the Cleveland Browns have to do seemingly every year. And we drafted 2 last year and haven't even seen the second rookie play. So if that's the case, Simon, which I really don't want to be the case, and I think Shedeur has upside, let's give him a shot. If he's not the answer, well, you're back to square one. We're basically where we are right now, Simon. which is we don't have a quarterback. So you got to draft another one. JJ Mad with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. JJ Mad saying, prove me wrong, Sanders. I'm guessing JJ Mad didn't think Sanders would be a great quarterback, but he's a Browns fan and is saying, you know what? Prove me wrong. Can't stand what we're watching right now from Gabriel. And Sanders was supposed to be one of the top picks in the NFL draft. I mean, he seriously did have a lot of potential, a lot of great numbers at Colorado. In Colorado, he didn't have a good offensive line. He didn't have a run game. So I would love him to be the kind of guy that can turn the Cleveland Browns franchise around. It's got to be better than Dillon Gabriel's numbers right now, right? I mean, seriously, I've never seen play this bad. Well, I'm a Browns fan, so I've seen my fair share of it. But it's been awful. I mean, take a look. Yards per attempt, 5. His PFF grade's the worst in the National Football League. I mean, I'm with you, JJ Mad. Like, put in Shedeur. Show me something. Show me. We all want to see it. Chase, I just love some of the Browns' decisions. Smiley face, sensing a lot of sarcasm in this one. And I think that's the bottom line here is the Browns have just made a lot of bad, incorrect decisions. You go, especially at the quarterback position. I mean, the whole idea of trading for Deshaun Watson when he was under investigation. You knew he was going to miss games for you. And you knew he was going to probably miss a lot of football time. And so you end up paying him a guaranteed contract, fully guaranteed, that no one's seen ever. You kind of broke the quarterback market. Now everybody wants guaranteed money and is getting these massive deals. And Watson hasn't even played a full season for us. And when he has, the numbers haven't been good. And so now this year's decision was starting Joe Flacco, drafting Dillon Gabriel, and not playing Shedeur at all. Some of these decisions, man. Smiley face. It's getting crazy. Bobby Johnson. Haslam is the type of owner who would fire Stefanski and then hire Brian Daboll. I saw a lot of people saying they don't want Brian Daboll in Cleveland as a head coach. I definitely don't want him as a head coach either. And he did, there were some rumors that he didn't like Shedeur Daboll. And so that would probably be a bad coach for Cleveland to bring in. The only thing I will say about Daboll is as a coordinator specifically, what he did in Buffalo was pretty impressive. And Jackson Dart, is having success numbers-wise with Daboll as the head coach. He's just choking leads like there's no tomorrow. So he certainly deserved to lose his job. I don't think we want Brian Daboll anywhere near the Cleveland Browns either. But Haslam, that's the next problem, Bobby, is can we sell the team, get a new owner? I mean, the ownership is a problem as well. He's just focused on the new stadium coming in 2029. Let's focus on winning some games, please. Eric Potter, when do you think Shedeur will start? Okay, great question here. Because now Deshaun Watson's in the mix, right? Potentially. The rumors are swirling. But my theory about Stefanski, being the issue, that doesn't mean that Shedeur won't play this year. They could have it in their minds like you're out of playoff contention whenever that happens. And they're going to move on from Stefanski no matter what. But still, let's evaluate Shedeur. Jimmy Haslam said before the season it is important to see both rookie quarterbacks be evaluated this year. And so I would probably guess the last 4 games of the year will be Shedeur's to start. I would also consider bookmarking the game against the Tennessee Titans. Perhaps Shedeur could get in a little bit sooner to face Cam Ward, who was the other quarterback in the draft that was supposed to be the top QB along with Shedeur. And Cam Ward obviously went first overall, and his numbers were really bad to start the year as well. But I imagine he will get a couple weeks this year. If he doesn't, it's because Watson's back in the mix, or Stefanski is pushing for Gabriel for the rest of the year, and then Stefanski is going to lose his job, and we'll start Shedeur next year. But I think we'll see him for a few weeks. Joshua Miller, is there a quarterback worth moving up for based on what we've seen so far? And then he answered his own question. Yes, ... Mendoza. Look, what I like about Mendoza is he's a bigger quarterback. Obviously, clutch game-winning drive against Penn State last weekend. But he was inconsistent in that game as well. I think there's a lot of pluses with his game. But now, he's actually sliding a little bit in a lot of folks' big boards. Ty Simpson of Alabama is the number one quarterback in a lot of big boards that I'm seeing lately. Dante Moore also has been ranked ahead of Mendoza. So there's a few different options in this year's draft. I don't know if I love this class as much either, but Mendoza, just being a taller quarterback, I can see why you like him, Joshua Miller. Perhaps Cleveland goes that route, but that's why I think it's even more imperative to see Shedeur play in some action, get an assessment of him. If you're going to draft another quarterback, you probably got to move on from one on that roster, right? I mean, how many young rookie quarterbacks we can have sitting on there doing nothing? It's crazy. It's crazy. But I would prefer that Cleveland go after their needs. Tackle, wide receiver, try to set up a situation so that a quarterback can be successful. But if you love Mendoza that much, then Cleveland would do it. Folks, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Browns Report. Going over to X if you want to ask some more questions or chat about some more Browns football on X at JoeyO70. And hit that subscribe button. Join the Dog Pound if you're a die-hard Browns fan. Join the channel. We appreciate you all so much for being here with us, and we will see you next time. Oh, yeah. Cedric, I truly believe they are tanking. That is another theory. Chrissy said, dude, he wants to impress his new girlfriend. Hey, join the party. Just a sub button, y'all. I like that. Moose said, good questions, chat. Good stuff. Let's clap it up for the chat. W's for the chat. W's in the chat. Great community here. Ty Man with the W. Ty Man, what a legend Ty Man is. Hey, Ty Man, do you do Chat Sports host rankings by chance? Be curious to see your opinions. We have a guy that does them now on Twitter. Where's he at? Mike. Is he in the chat? No, no. No. I was like, where's he at today? Supposed to hop on. Reed, you got to move up, dude. Why are you sliding right now?
I'm sliding. I'm down to 5 now. I was at 1 like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Damn, bro.
I gotta let my other guys eat.
Yeah.
Gotta let the team eat.
You know what it is? We need to be better.
We need to be better. We need to be better.
I'm gonna comment that next ranking. I'm just be like, I need to be better.
So
we need to be better.
Why are you? What? Time Man said, not really. It's like, I don't really care.
Time Man's just having fun, and we love it.
So, Joey, how come in one of your videos you stuttered? What happened there?
I need to be better. That's gonna be our answer for everything now. The Kevin Stefanski special. Reed, why'd you move down? We need to be better. Yeah. What are you going to do? Oh, Time Man knows about Mike Nintendo's rankings. Yes, that's what we saw on Twitter.
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent. I'm telling. So, all right, folks. It's been a fun edition of the Browns Report Live here. Hopefully you learned something. Lots of quarterback updates today that we had to get to. So, like I said, join the party. Hit the sub button if you want to be a part of these videos and be able to interact in the chat. It really is a fun community. We thank you guys so much for tuning in to this edition of our Wednesday Live. Be here next week. Hit the sub button, and we will see you next time.